Okay, my friends, welcome aboard. It's Sunday, a dull, damp Sunday out here in the woods, but it's better than being in church. Now, I'm going to teach you the proper way to reach out. You know how I often say reach out and pull against the reach? Well, I really don't enjoy the swing draw where your arm is stiff and you just come up, you know? I don't. It's movement. What I enjoy is aiming off my knuckles. Okay? But how do we aim off our knuckles? How do we reach out? You see, if I take my arm, and you take your arm, and you go forward, and forward, and forward, and forward, and eventually, when your arm straightens out, it goes off to the left. You see that? Watch. It's straight, it's straight, it's straight, it's straight, it's straight, and now it goes to the left. So that's how we reach out. When we reach until our arm wants to do that. We reach until it's fully extended. That will leave a slight bend in your elbow, and your elbow will be out to the side. But we stop here. We do not do this. And that's a big deal. That's how we reach out, and that's how far we reach out until our hand starts to go left. That's as far as it's going to go. The elbow will be in the right spot, and now we can draw. Okay? So that's one of the things that I'm going to tell you today, and I'll do some shooting. We've got a target down here it's at 24 yards today, and I don't feel like walking around, you know? It's damp and cool and stuff. And what do I have to prove? Okay, be back in a minute. Okay, guys, we have a caribou down here. Nice big target, 24 yards. Good enough for instruction. That's it. Okay, I want to tell you about elevation. How I find my elevation is using the gap method, but the tip goes on the gap. Now look, we're always drawing to our anchor, but the tip goes on the gap. Therefore, if my target is at 20 yards, for instance, let's see if you can see this here. If my target is at 20 yards, my arrow is going to be down like that. And I'm going to draw like that. If my target is farther away and the tip is on up there, well, I'm going to hold it on an angle so that when I draw, it comes straight back to here. Now that's how I find elevation. You'll find that it works very good. You keep that tip on the gap line, and as you draw, it will just turn horizontally and be at the right level. We don't draw like this, you know, and then start looking for it. If you can keep it on the correct elevation as you draw, it's going to be a big help, okay? And anyhow, I just thought that, you know, I didn't want to wreck the target again, I guess so. But, you know, you'll get some hits, you know? And for me, the arrow tip is just, if you look at the kill zone, it's right at the right lower side is where I will be having my tip. That's at 24 yards. Okay. Anyhow, back in a minute. Okay, guys, take a couple shots here. The sky's getting really dark and gray over there. I hope we don't get rained out. Again, that's it. You know, when you hit them like that, why keep shooting? Anyhow, listen, one of the things that I'm doing is I'm straightening the arrow out at about 4 inches. Howard Hill, perhaps around 6 inches. But when the when the bow is pushed forward and you get all the way back here, when you get about this far from your anchor, the pressure in the bow will straighten you out. This is where the aim is done, right here. None of this pre-aiming and putting it on and canning it over and lining it all up and getting ready, because by the time you get back there, it's all changed. You know, when it starts out, the arrow is actually pointing off to the left a little bit. It's kind of like a rotational draw, but it happens exactly here. It's called the pause. Oh no, we don't pause, we just keep pulling through. Anyhow, that's what it was called, okay? Horace Ford called it the pause. And it's right here, and it doesn't have to be a pause, but it's right here. This is where it will straighten out. This is where you aim. From here is where you aim, okay? And if you do that, you will get some hits. About 4 inches in front of your mouth, the pressure of the bow will straighten out the right hand. The tip of the arrow will go to the right. The back of the arrow will go to the left, right on your anchor. And the arrow will not be pointing at the target. It will be pointing at the magic spot, which is a little right and low. That's it. Anyhow, back in a minute. Okay, my friends. Let's take a couple shots here. Notice that in this case my feather's against the bow, not away from the bow. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Not really. Just like most things in life, they don't really matter. It's all bullshit. Yeah. Bullshit. That's what most things that matter are. All the things you've been told that are supposed to be important are not. You know, I had a guy a little while ago write on my channel, oh, we don't need more guns, and he would like to have more taxes so he could get a free education. Free education. You know what I thought? I thought, if you take a stupid guy and give him an education, you know what you have? You have an educated, stupid guy. Isn't that what you really have? I don't know. You don't think it's just baloney? Anyhow, when you're shooting, it's good to lean forward a little bit. Reach out and draw against that reach. It'll put a little more power in there. Also, you can do a little katra, you know, like at the very last second, give a little push. As these fingers go this way, your hand goes that way, you know? Something that, I don't know if you've noticed it in this movie or not, but when I put this bow up, you'll see my hand go up, and what I'm really doing is putting the tip on the gap and then raising my hand so it goes to my anchor. Okay? Little steps like that. And if you do it and you're a good Viking, Odin will bless you with some hits. Have fun, my friends. Okay, guys. Very important to have a relaxed right arm. If your arm's not relaxed, can't draw straight. You know, this right arm just has to be relaxed. And there's also two ways of drawing. You know, this area here that's 4 inches, if you get back to the 4 inches and you bring your hand in, and now you can draw straight back. Okay, so it will get to 4 inches, you'll let it line up, and now you'll come back 4 inches. That's one way. The other way is to simply draw all the way until you get back to where your anchor is and bring it in there. Either way will work. Okay, the recommended way by Jerry Hill and Howard is to bring it in just about here, let it all relax, go straight, and then come back. But again, I feel that you can also just come all the way back and in. So either way will work. Okay, but that's how you bring your hand in. And of course, if you do that, you will get some hits. Olay! Okay, guys, back in a minute. Okay, guys, let's take a couple of shots here. Hey, Loki, guide my arrow. I'll shoot an eagle and pretend it's a sparrow. You know, I don't really have anything against Christians. I'd fuck them. Wango tango. Okay, guys. Again, this is a big deal. If you're aiming and you're at a certain distance, you have to pick the magic spot first. Now listen, put the magic spot on the gap. And as you draw, it just sort of goes sideways. But it's on the gap. We're not drawing and looking around, okay? Put it on the gap first and line it up to your jaw. Whatever angle that is, if it's down there, you're on this angle. If it's over there, it's straight. If you're farther away, it's on that angle. But it always comes to here. You're lining up to here. Go for it, you know? That's what's important. And of course, you can get some hits that way. Okay, boys. Have fun. Okay, guys. It's starting to get dark. It's only 4:35. It's already getting dark. Wish the hell I was in Australia, Jono. Good enough. You know, I guess I'm going to take off because it is getting dark. And let's just run over the stuff that we were doing today. Remember, we're not doing the swing draw, the stiff arm, okay? We're doing the push on over our knuckle. We only push until our hand starts to go sideways. That's the full extension. And then we draw against that, okay? We have a completely relaxed arm. Also, remember, we're looking at the target with both eyes, and the way that I do it is my right eye is the dominant eye. And I used to turn my head a little bit to the left so that my dominant eye would come forward. I no longer do that. I actually turn my head to the right so that I see double vision. The reason being, if I can get my weak eye focused on the target, my dominant eye is on automatically. So that's what you do. Howard Hill used his weak eye as the dominant eye, or it was his dominant eye, and that's what I'm doing, and it works very well. So relaxed arm, dominant eye, no farther a push until it starts to move to the left. Draw back until you get back about 4 inches from your anchor. Relax your arm. You'll see the arrow go straight. The tip will go to the right, the back will come to the left. And then you can just draw back that last few inches or just bring it in. Okay? And if you do that kind of stuff and you practice for 1,000 years and you pay homage to Odin every day, he'll give you some hits. Thanks, Odie. Thank you very much. You guys have a good week. I'll be back.